Hey everyone, thanks for stopping back in at J Hood Creative. Before I get into my video, I want to remind you of my own contest to record a video showing your 5 favorite floppy comic books. It could be anything, just your favorites. Do a video, leave a comment letting me know that you've done a video, and I'll enter you into a drawing where I'll do a sketch, send you some trade paperbacks or hardcovers, comics, old and new comics. Signed comics will be included. So I just wanted to remind you of that before I dive into my contest entry for JP's budget collecting. Let me tell you, JP, you've done a great job of just diving into this community. If you might recall, I kind of got in contact with you on and off intermittently when you first started. You dove in right at the point where I wanted to dive in. I thought my computer wouldn't be able to handle it. I didn't have a camera at the time, but at that point I was ready to go. But while I kind of stood on the edge of the pool, you got up on that diving board and you dove right in. And let me tell you, you've done a great job. Your recaps of the CBSI list, the whole community appreciates those. But I appreciate you just interacting, you being you getting to know everyone. I admire the way you've been able to do it, and congratulations on the success you've had so far. So JP has asked us to share 3 YouTube community members that we're thankful for. And I think just like everyone else, I struggled to figure this one out. Struggled because 2 people came immediately to mind, and then about 10 runners up are competing for that 3rd spot. And JP said that basically we had to name community members in order for those people to be entered into his drawing for the prize. Or else, if he didn't know them, he's kind of throwing that vote out, which I don't.
Daddy, what is this?
It's a camera. Don't touch, please.
Oh, what is this?
It's a handle. Don't touch, please. I'm gonna have a guest. It looks like for this. So, where was I? So yeah, there are a bunch of people that kind of came in 3rd place, and JP mentioned that if we went off the board, that those votes would kind of get thrown out if we mentioned people that weren't in the community. Would you please stop? I love you. Okay, so let's see where I'm at with this. Okay, so like I said, I've got 2 people that please don't touch this wire. 2 people that really stood out that I kind of knew right away I need to send out thanks for. And one of them has been very supportive in my start doing YouTube. He helped me. I was on that diving board, and he was kind of behind me, pushing me off the edge, and I'm grateful for it. And that's Comic Head 84. Kenny, you gave me a little bit of a nudge, and I think you knew that. And I have to admit, it wasn't until I saw you kind of do that I realized how okay, yeah, be quiet. How key of a player you are in the community. Okay, you want to get down? We'll do a video later, okay? It wasn't until you kind of prodded me that I saw how kind of involved you are. You really dive into every show you're around. You're in the chats, or you're on the panels. And I have to tell you that in the beginning, as I was kind of dipping a toe in, kind of using this pool analogy, I guess. You know, I was starting to dip a toe into the chats, live chats, and I'd started my Instagram, and you noticed my Instagram pretty well right off the bat, and you saw when I was in the chats, and you would mention me, but you'd be like, hey, go check out Jay Hood's Instagram. He's got some good stuff on there. And I'd gotten in touch with you about doing Slab Down, and things worked out for that. And that's so at that point, I was like, well, if I'm going to be on Slab Down, I've got to have some content on a channel that if people see me on Slab Down, they can go find me somewhere else. So that's what started me with that first video I did. And you know, the first video I did really kind of showcased my appreciation for everyone in the community. And so that little intro I did for that, it was kind of my tribute to everyone. But Kenny, thanks. I really appreciate you getting behind me. Biggie Shack kind of followed suit, and a lot of other people have been in my chats when I do live shows or premieres. And I really appreciate you being the guy that kind of pointing me out, gave me some attention, and just kind of pointing me out to everyone else. So, Kenny, Comic Cat 84, you're number one, buddy. So my second person that I'm thankful for is another very integral person to the community, and okay, so there are people in our lives that when we're around them, they make everyone they meet feel important, and those are the key people that, you know, really give everyone energy. They're the energizers in the room. 1 second. What do you need?
Be a stranger.
Can you be a stranger? We'll do a video after this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to come up? Okay, come here. So when the cool people in our lives, when we look at the people we know, the cool people in our lives are the ones that make us feel cool. We look at them, we look up to them, and it doesn't matter how many compliments we throw at them, they're like a mirror. They shine them right back. They're like, no, you're the. If we say you're the man, they say, no, you are definitely the man. Let me tell you all these ways that you are the man. So this person that I want to nominate, I've had very slight interactions with. I guess I've maybe chatted a few comments to him on Instagram, things like that. But I see him pretty much across the board in all these shows. Okay, without any further ado, it's John's Comics with Kids. Last week, I believe he was on 3 shows in one night, and it doesn't matter what show he dives into, he's there to shine the light on everyone else on the panel. He acknowledges the chat. He interacts with the chat. When he's not in the show, he's in the chats. He's being, you know, he's being himself. He's being a real character that everybody knows and loves. And man, that your I don't want to call it work ethic, but the fact that you put your energy, so much energy into all this, you're willing to do all these shows. I've seen you help new people. Like I know you helped JP kind of initially. I know that you're a teacher, and you're the best kind of teacher, because you're not just teaching in a classroom. You're setting the standard for leadership wherever you go. It's very obvious. If you're doing this in the YouTube community, you're doing this in your classroom, you're doing this in your community, you're doing it in your family. I admire you. Thanks for pouring out everything you do into the community.
Daddy? Can you make it big screen? Big screen. Big screen.
Okay. So, John's Comics with Kids, thank you. Appreciate you. And so for the third one, man, it was so tough. Another pillar, uh, Biggie Shack. Man, you're all over the place. You're so positive. Great legend. And you were one of the 2 or 3 people in my first live stream the other night. You were there the whole time, interacting with other people that happened to be there. Uh, let's see, White Whale. Okay, so White Whale and John's Comics with Kids, I call them the dynamic duo. Whale is the stoic Batman type, and John is the energetic, lighten the mood Robin type. I put them. I would describe it this way: those 2 guys are great separately, but you put them together, and there's something special about it. They're just a great pair. So I have to name all, especially those 3: Biggie, Legend, and White Whale. Boy Ed 7, another great community member. I could go on, and I'm thankful for all you guys. I'm thankful for the whole community, because I wouldn't have dove in if I saw a bunch of cliques and rivalries and things like that. This whole community is so positive. As Biggie Shack puts it, we're only here to make friends. We're not here to make enemies. So, who would I nominate for my third person I'm appreciative for? And I have to go off the reservation a little bit. Stop. This may be a throwaway vote, but I have to acknowledge some significant people that we don't see on screen. So people like Mrs. Comics with Kids, or Mrs. Boy Who Had 7, or Mrs. J Hood Creative, that lets us go and make fools of ourselves talking about our silly comic books on YouTube. They give us the space. They give us the time. They hold us accountable. I know that. We got responsibilities away from these screens and cameras and comic books. But they're there. They support us. They let us do our thing. And I want to send a shout out to all the wives and girlfriends and significant others out there that give the community the space they need to hang out just about every night of the week, when we could be, snuggling on the couch, or cleaning the yard, or cleaning out the garage, or some other stuff. But hey, thanks to all the significant others out there that let us be us on screen and hang out with our buddies and talk about the comics we love. So there you go. There are my 3 community members, kind of, that I'm thankful for. So remember, faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.